Hello viewers, welcome back to the channel. And by the video title, you know what this video is about. So the Steelers bring back Juju? That's the question. We've seen that question circulate around the league for today, basically all morning like that, ever since Juju Smith-Schuster got released by the Patriots. So I'm gonna dive into it a little bit right here. I know I've been making like jokes, when Juju was here and Juju was like going as well, like about him, the TikTok stuff, all the things that happened. But overall, his tenure with the Steelers was pretty solid. We're gonna break down each season a little bit. The first year Juju came here and we got drafted in 2017, had 58 catches for 917 yards, 7 touchdowns. He probably had 1,000 yards that season, but Murray got suspended one game after he hit Vontaze Burfict with that blindside hit. Like that, he ran him over like that for sending a block for Le'Veon Bell. But Juju was good that year. He had a 99-yard touchdown that he had against the Colts. He had the big play against the Patriots. Remember in the fourth quarter, he went down there, got us down the field like that. After Antonio Brown got knocked out the game, he was injured, got sent to the hospital. Juju played very well that season. That's the year we went 13-3. I know we got jacked up by the Jaguars in the divisional round, but overall, Juju as a rookie was phenomenal. We had our guy, our second guy right there. In the season after, Juju put up 111 receiving yards, 111 receptions, 1,426 receiving yards, and 7 touchdowns as well. He played pretty nice that season too. Juju was a Pro Bowler that year. And of course, most of the numbers are inflated a little bit because Antonio Brown was getting like double team, triple team. He still had over 200 yards. He led the league in touchdowns that year too. Antonio Brown had like 17 touchdowns that year, but he was getting like double team, triple team. So Juju had one-on-one matchups with a lot of those other cornerbacks and stuff, and he was dominating those matchups and played well. Had that 9-yard touchdown against the Broncos, remember? And we had the big play against the Raiders, the touchdown, the ballerina spin touchdown he made it to as well. He was making a lot of big time plays for us. We missed the playoffs that year because remember that fumble that happened when Juju got strip sacked. He got stripped by the Saints and fumbled. But overall, I think Juju Smith-Schuster still played pretty well through that season like that. And we needed him a lot of times like that. He was a big time playmaker. Antonio Brown got double team, triple team. Juju Smith-Schuster was the guy who was open and very consistent. So the Steelers kind of felt like maybe he can emerge as the #1 guy. And then the following season after, they put him as the #1 guy. He had 42 catches, 552 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Those numbers are low too, mostly because he was injured. He got banged up a lot, and Big Ben was injured too. Big Ben got injured in week 1. That's when Big Ben tore his some ligament in his elbow or his arm in week 1 against the Seahawks. So Big Ben was out the whole season, so he had to play with Duck Hodges and Mason Rudolph and all these different quarterbacks that we kept putting in, swinging back and forward, and we could barely get the ball down the field. I think James Washington was our leading receiver that season with 700 something yards. So that's kind of how that season was. It was mostly driven by the defense. We still finished 8-8. That's the year we made the trade for Minkah Fitzpatrick as well. But Juju was solid in some aspects. Against the 49ers, he played well early on, but he was kind of in and out like that throughout the season, so we couldn't really see him fully as the #1. Following season, also that year, 2019, we drafted Jesse Johnson, and in following season, Jesse Johnson have a solid year. He had some drops, but he still had 800 some yards like that solid year. And Juju put up 97, 831 with 9 touchdowns, and Chase Claypool had 11 touchdowns, 800 plus yards, I think 835 yards as well. So we had 3 different receivers with 800 plus yards that season when Big Ben came back, and Juju's numbers was pretty solid. But then the year after, Juju had 15 catches, 429 yards, and 0 touchdowns. Remember, he got injured, he got banged up. He played, I think he played like week 1. I think he played week 1 a few weeks. I think like week 3 or something like that. It was like the game with the Broncos when he went and caught like a ball and he got lit up. And I think by Kareem Jackson, he got boomed by Kareem Jackson, who's always hitting people. That's a hard hitting safety, old school player. He got hit by Kareem Jackson, I think, and his shoulder, I think dislocated or something happened to his shoulder like that, so he was out for the rest of the season. He came back at the end of the year for the playoffs and stuff, but he was out really. He was done. He was done for like the rest of the year mostly. He was out there at the end of the season just on pure guts. So he didn't really get a chance to like showcase what he's gonna do that season, the contract year. So then he went to the Chiefs. 78 catches, 933 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now the Chiefs, he probably had 1,000 yards with them as well. Remember, he got injured. He got a concussion. The concussion he had, I believe it was against the Patriots. It was against somebody. I remember he had a concussion. Juju Smith-Schuster had a concussion, got knocked out the game. I remember they literally knocked out. So he missed a few games, I think, that year. If he didn't miss them, he probably had over 1,000 yards. He played pretty good with the Chiefs. Won a Super Bowl with the Chiefs, and he got that big contract with the Patriots, and got there. And his first year with the Patriots, he had 29 catches for 260 yards and touchdown, basically in and out because of the injuries. He's only 27 years old, so he's still a young player, but a lot of injuries last year. So the Patriots, I guess, decided just to move on from him. They do have Jalen Polk there now as well. So Juju Smith-Schuster, his numbers are are pretty good, you know, like when he played with the Steelers. Like his number in the tenure with the Steelers was pretty solid when he was healthy. He's a guy who you can rely on, give maybe 800 yards, 60, 70 catches type guy, and a few touchdowns here and there, and being a good blocker, being a good guy you can use in the slot as well. So the Steelers was to sign him or bring him back, I would not be opposed to it. And plus, I think if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Patriots are paying most of the money too, so it was like some of that stuff was like guaranteed money. So the Patriots will be paying most of the money this season, so you can basically bring them back on a veteran like minimum type deal too. So like if it doesn't pan out, you can always release them, or just they won't really hurt you too much. So I think bringing them back, especially our receiving core, looking at George Pickens here, looking at Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson. We have some guys who are solid and stuff, but I think Juju Smith-Schuster can easily squeeze right in there. Roman Wilson, the rookie as well, so he can fit right in there. I think you have George Pickens, you have Juju, you have Roman Wilson, Calvin Austin, Van Jefferson. Those 5 guys, I think you'd be more confident with that if they was to go that route. But the Steelers might be moved on completely from like the Juju era and not bring him back too. So we'll see exactly. But I know he'll find a team eventually. Of course, he's 27 years old. When he's healthy, he's a pretty solid player like that. Young player, player who can make some plays in this league too. So he'll find a home somewhere. But if the Steelers was to bring him back, I wouldn't be opposed to it. You know, I know we make the jokes and stuff about the TikToks and all the stuff he do, but I think overall he's a pretty solid player. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think. Would you guys be willing to bring Juju Smith-Schuster back? Or would you just rather not bring him back at all, just roll with the guys we have? Let me know down below. And I'll see you guys next time on the channel, which will probably be, depending on how I upload this video, right now I'm watching the preseason game right now. It's on halftime break. So if I upload this video, you know, like during the game or after the review, you'll see it win. But peace out.